Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you guys are doing fabulous today. If you're new here, how are you? Welcome. If you're a returning gazer, hi guys. Hope you're all doing great. I'm Heather Stargazer, and I'm doing a reading today for whoever, whenever, wherever. Let's take a deep breath and begin. Whew, ancestors, spirits, guides. What messages do you have for the collective today and in the future? That's too many, Spirit. Thank you. We have the Hanged Man coming out in reverse, the Emperor in the upright, the High Priestess in the upright. Second row, we've got the Knight of Cups, Temperance, Four of Cups in the reverse. Can we have three more, please? Four of Pentacles in the reverse, Queen of Cups in the reverse, an Ace of Wands in the upright. We have there, I said nine of Cups. Here it is in the reverse as the overarching energy. There could be a little bit of overindulgence, maybe a lot of overindulgence, whether that be in a substance, an action, an emotion, whatever it is. It's emotionally driven, and it's like drowning those emotions out, right? Somebody is maybe taking on too much, right? And it's pushing your wishes and desires away, or their wishes and desires away. Take it how it resonates. We're starting off, we have two Piscean cards in the first row here. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse. Then we have the Emperor, Aries energy. And then we have the High Priestess. Sorry, she was in the upright. And this talks about taking control and taking the lead, having sat long enough, seeing a different perspective, and taking action. Even though some of those actions might be undercover, maybe you aren't showing them to the world yet, right? There's definitely something being kept hidden, right? And it's interesting too, because it's like Pisces with Aries in the center. Those are all Pisces, and then Aries that talks about a time of year, right? And it also talks about going from the end, the Piscean, right? The end of the zodiac, the oldest spirits, right, into the new, into the childlike essence of the Aries, right? And having a firm control and mastery over what it is that you're setting out to do, right? And that could be why you're keeping it on the hush hush. Here we have, again, action being taken. This is a heartfelt action being taken, and it could be somebody, or in a way that doesn't have full bearings of the situation, but really a heartfelt being taken here. And it's because we need to let go, right? Letting go of something. And that could have been what came to light in that space, that perspective change in that space. Hanged Man in the reverse, right? Okay, we got it now. You're starting to see it, and it propels you forward. It fills your heart. You want to move forward now that you've let go of something. That's like the Miser card. Maybe it's releasing of tension, releasing of toxicity, releasing of something specific. When I look at pentacles, yes, they are material things, but I look at them as nouns, people, places, things, right? Things in the material world. And we have this Emperor and fire energy down, right next to each other here, that Aries energy over the Sagittarius energy. In the center here, there is a healing, there is a rebalance. And then there's this, because it's like you've got this person on top taking charge, right? Patriarchal masculine energy, whether that actually be what that is. It's like the father essence, right? The protective. When he's in the upright, he's protective, and he is a director. He isn't going to control the people. He's going to put things in order for people to be able to make the best decisions for themselves, right? And that's that temperance energy, that balancing out, because somebody is now we have the Queen of Cups energy, water sign energy. Not coming out in the upright, right? This is somebody who is run by their emotions, somebody who could be overly emotional, who could be taken over by the way that they feel, right? And kind of miss out on the logic, and maybe taking actions or internal, like mulling things over a little too much. That person can be, the Queen of Cups in the reverse can be like overbearing, right? it does, like, there's like this emotional, like, depression feeling to it. We need to balance that out, and that could be part of what is being seen here, what we're letting go of, what you're letting go of. And maybe it's because some things are coming to light, things that you're having these realizations about, kind of keeping them to yourself, right? She is guarding the gates here, guarding the gates of enlightenment and knowledge. She is, again, that Piscean energy, that deep, deep dive, right, into the subconscious. What does the subconscious want the conscious to do? And what is it that needs to be revealed? And what is it that needs to be kept safe, right? Again, not four of cups in the reverse, and having the hanged man in the reverse. Both of those are like that letting go of something that was keeping us stuck, right? This is like being activated, taking charge, and moving forward into a space where you are inspired, taking the lead on a new inspiration. Ace of Wands here. Exciting news. I heard surprising news. Well, we don't have the Tower out yet, but it's something off guard. I heard could catch them off guard. And it's probably, the fact that you are putting your foot down. 4 fours. Right? 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, the Emperor in the upright, and 4 of Cups in the reverse. This is no longer being held back by things that were weighing you down, or things that maybe you felt obligated to, but you weren't really interested in, or maybe you were doing something to appease someone else's emotional needs or wants, right? Impulses. And there is love here in the situation. People are acting in a way like there isn't like this forcefulness or arguing as of yet that we're seeing. What we're seeing is, like I said, a perspective change on an emotional level. It's like you're emotionally upgrading, and it's causing a spark of inspiration, and it's probably brought on by someone else's overindulgence, or maybe you were overindulging in someone else's or your own emotional tides, and you're starting to recover from that. I believe this deck is all, I did mix it up. It was all in the upright. Let's see how it goes. This is the Chrysalis Tarot. Ancestors, spirits, guides, could you please give us clarifiers, clear and direct messages to help us understand the messages we're receiving from you on this beautiful, blessed day. What is this Hanged Man in reverse? What is the Hanged Man in the reverse? Yeah, 6 of Stones in the reverse. We got the Sun on the bottom and the upright. See, normally these cards are all in the same direction, and somehow this is about like giving too much, right? Something is taking more than it's giving back. There's an imbalance here, and again, that need to take something. Maybe you were giving too much. This Knight of Cups energy, right? Maybe you were giving from the heart, and you realize how much should be given and how much should, there isn't that reciprocal balance. Whoever is giving can't really afford to give, and whoever's taking doesn't really need to take what they're taking. So, starting to really see that. What is the Knight of Cups doing here? What is the Knight of Cups in the upright? I heard making moves. The Moon. Cancer energy, cardinal water energy with this Knight of Cups. And again, that feeling of like not everything can be seen, right? Emotional undercurrents, the tides. We talked about the month that it is, the cycles that we go through every month, and that emotional change that happens. This is talking about these actions that are being taken, and maybe somebody is or was being held on to by some sort of emotional delusion here, right? Things that aren't being seen. The High Priestess and the Moon, something is being hidden. Something was unseen. Maybe it was like somebody was giving and not really sharing how they felt about it. 4 of Stones, to clarify the 4 of Stones, the 4 of Pentacles. Some things very much need to be let go of, and some things very much need to be held on to, right? There's this reorganizing of the balance here, and you're probably going to have to take a deep dive, or had to take a deep dive into the emotional realm to figure out what that was. Where does your security lie? Right? This is financial security, material security, place, the place where you live. This is talking about this keeping, there's like a treasure chest here, right? Keeping things that are valuable and letting go of things that are ephemeral, things that come and go, flowers, right? They're a temporary situation, but the things in this treasure chest are permanent. What are we holding on to and what are we letting go of? And they're, again, that emotional undercurrent of something taking too much. And there also being a very direct correlation between the emotional and the material. In this whole first row, we have water and earth, and then we have water and water, and then we have earth and earth. See what I'm saying? Like there's an emotional integration into the material, and the material has an emotional pull. Talk to us about this Emperor energy. It's the Empress. And talk about that rebalancing, right? Now we have the maternal and the paternal. Now we have the high masculine and the high feminine coming out. True divine partnership, true leadership, right? These could be parental figures. These could be bosses. This could be you and your partner. This could be ancestors who are watching over to make sure that the order that is set in place that has the ability to blossom and grow just at 11:11. I think that there's definitely a wish here. I'll read the signs because there's a lot of major arcanas. The things that are coming out are a big deal. Talk to me about this Temperance, please. The Lovers. Again, there's a train. This idea of balance, this idea of two things coming together, seemingly unmixable. The masculine is the opposite of the feminine. Right? But when they come together in unison, when the things that are going on with the internal self are in unison and in balance with the things that are happening in the external self, right? The internal world and the external world, there is balance, there can be healing, there is expansion. This also talks a lot about communication. And what's interesting is Sagittarius and Gemini are on the polar axis of each other. Right, talking about that. In order for something to be opposites, they have to be the same. Very talkative people, very communicative people, very funny people. But at the same time, there's like this under self that isn't always expressed, right? That isn't always shared. Deep, deep, deep thinking, deep, deep, deep dives. This is what this is. Who and what are we partnering to? What choice is being made here? Very interesting to have the Emperor and the Empress come out. This could, if you are in a partnership, this could have to do with partnership. If you are, our partnerships are like a direct reflection of like our parental needs, right? The things we tend to build our families in the shape and form of the family that we come from. And then we notice things that maybe we would like to improve on, or we notice things that just weren't working, or we notice things that we really enjoy and we would like to continue on with the next phase, right? The next generation. And those things are like the evolution of the self. So what we experience in childhood, we often work out through our adulthood. And this is maybe talking about, family patterns, ancestral patterns, and how do those things reflect in our relationships with each other. Not necessarily just our partnerships definitely, but also because Gemini is siblings too. It's our brothers and sisters. It's our direct neighbors. It's small business and the communities that we're in, right? How do we orchestrate those things? How do we organize those things? How do we allow those things to blossom and grow and be steadfast and firm, and yet at the same time balanced and secure, right? And able to adapt and grow. These are all of the things that are coming up through these decisions and choices. That's what this whole reading revolves around. Wow. What is this Queen of Cups in the reverse? I heard unforgiving. I got 2 for this. Wow. I had to look on the bottom. I haven't looked on the bottom for all the cards we've pulled. It's the Hanged Man. Again, that like force stop. Take a breath. Take a halt for just a second. We have the Queen of Stones. So to represent this Queen of Cups in the reverse, we get the Queen of Pentacles and we get the Fool. Merlin coming out, risky chances, taking risks, starting something new. Maybe, again, if something was so emotionally driven, so emotionally draining, it's time to really take those things and turn them into something creative, manifesting them into something new, something that can be counted on. Merlin, right? You'd think he's the magician, but he's actually the fool. He's called the hero in this deck. Right? Because the hero's journey and the fool's journey are the same thing. Are we saving ourselves by the evolution that we go through, the spiritual evolution, the maturation of self, right? And being like, maybe you've never tried something like this before. You know, in some regards, it could be like leaving this self behind, or leaving these personality types behind, leaving this emotionally draining and overwhelmingness behind, whether that be externally, internally, in a pattern that's going on, however that works. It's turning something into creation now, using those things, those tools that we've accumulated and learned, and expressing in that way something new, trying something new, taking that leap of faith. Very interesting. High Priestess, what is it that's not being seen? What is this High Priestess about? Knight of Stones, the Illusionist. Ooh. Knight of Pentacles, very slow moving. And again, this reading is super heavy on the earth and water. All right. Slowly moving, the Illusionist. Okay, so an illusion is something that we think we're being shown, or that we're being shown, that isn't quite real, like an illustration. Like through the eye, we see these things that's being presented to us, right? The illusion of something being created. And again, there is also the Emperor and Empress, and now we have two knights on the board. Action being taken, and the generational thing. The people who've been there, done that, know how. Right? And the people who are learning through their actions that they're taking, they've evolved beyond page energy, but it's still a learning process. It's still in a developmental phase. And through that, we might not be speaking out quite, presenting things quite yet. Right? There could be what's up behind the curtain, what is being done and shown. And see, he's like, I can make this thing fly. Check it out. But the dove flies on its own. So, that is very interesting. I heard steadfast. Steadfast. Twice we have something out that looks like it's magic, but that's not the actual intention behind the thing. So you could be doing something that looks like magic to others, right? And you're just kind of going to let them think that. Because Four of Cups in the reverse, you aren't interested or bored with the things that are present in front of you. You're out to seek a new adventure. You've turned around and looked behind you, and you're accepting that Ace of Cups from the universe. Tell us about this Four of Cups. Get to it. Get to it. So much Pisces energy. That Hanged Man came out. That wisdom. Again, if you let these things, they get in your way, they will stop you up. If you let the burden of boredom infiltrate your mind and your spirit, it will stop you up. It's time again to re-examine the new things that you've learned. Now that there's a rebalancing, things weren't working out. Somebody was giving too much. It was causing an imbalance here, right? We have to reevaluate this, realign here. Now we're working on something else. Once again, we're in a stop. It's like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start energy. But it's here so that things could be the best that they can be, so that you can be the best that you can be, so that things are not being affected or drained off at the other end. Ooh, Ace of Wands. Now we get the Nine of Cups in the upright and the Seven of Swords. Were you lying to yourself about what your wishes might truly be? Are you keeping things on the down low and having a strategy about the things that you're really excited about so that you can get to your wishes, hopes, and dreams? Are you taking a moment here to make sure that you aren't being deceived in some way by somebody who's being overindulgent? Did someone tell you that you can't have your dreams, but you certainly can? It just affected what they were able to get from you? Again, all of these things, these emotional things that are getting in the way of your wishes, hopes, and dreams and the things that you need, that's why it's like go slow. all these things so that they don't get in the way. High Priestess twice. High Priestess on the bottom. Keep your plans to yourself, because there are people here who are waiting in the wait to like pull that rug out from underneath of you because they were getting some sort of really great benefit from the arrangement previous. All right. Wow. We have High Priestess out twice. That's Pisces energy. We have the Hanged Man out twice. That's Pisces energy. That's 4 times Pisces here. This could have been something that happened in that time, like late February to early March, right? Talks about hidden enemies, the 12th house. Do I have my book? You think I know where everything in the book is by now? Secrets, mystery, future yet to be revealed, silence, tenacity, wisdom, and science. Okay, that's what the High Priestess is alluding to here, talking about. Maybe I should just stay out of this book, but there's a component to the 12th house that I would like to share with you guys. Here we go. Because it's a big deal. Self-renewal, subconscious self-talk, intuitive, psychic abilities, inner spiritual self, using your intuition in these spaces that are held up when you have to take a time out. Your intuition is going to be screaming at you. Listen to it, okay? This isn't a fear thing. This is, if you're feeling something that's like this fear over and over and over, that's not it. It's a quiet knowing. It's a impulse or compulsion to act, and it makes weird sense, right? Like it's for the benefit of you and the situation. All right. Self-undoing and karma. So be careful of self-sabotage in the acting too quickly, in the giving where things don't belong. If you're getting an intuitive nudge to take a step back and stand still for a minute, please listen to yourself. Okay. Where can you be your own worst enemy? Right. And that could be in considering other people's emotional wants, needs, and desires before your own, or in ways that are unreasonable. Yes, we need to be considerate of the people around us. That's what the Empress and Emperor do. They're ruling the entire kingdom. They're considering everyone at 2233. Where is it that you might be getting in your way, where you're giving too much, right? Or taking things before being fully aware of what they are. All right. Where can you, secrets, worries, confidential information. Again, keeping something private. It says private matters, deception, and unknown enemies. And again, that's why we need to really pay attention. Sometimes people will do things, I'll watch them do it. And I'll just kind of go along with it because I know that they're going to do what they're going to do, and it's going to show what their true intentions are. So yeah, I could get in their way and stop them up and blah, 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 blah. But that would just be opening the opportunity for them to do this again later. We could just clear it up now. I don't have to learn any more from that. I know, oh, that's what your intention was. Okay, I got you. Well, I thought so. But I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, and sure enough, I should have listened to myself. You know what I mean? And then people maybe think that you're naive or kind of stupid for giving them the benefit of the doubt, and then they try to take advantage of you, and then you can see it even more clearly. But then sometimes people don't. You give them the benefit of the doubt, and they come through with such strong integrity, strength, support, and you're just blown away. And you're like, wow, if I'd have gotten in their way, I wouldn't have seen the power, strength, wonderful love that is possible here. So sometimes it's important to kind of, the illusionist, right? Like step out of the way for a minute and let them see what it does, right? Because it's going to show you the truth of the situation. And again, being mindful that you're having your reservation. Let's just see, right? No judgment either way. This is what it looks like. Let's just see. And then institutions, hospitals, jails, prisons, nursing homes, charitable organizations, and government relief. Again, the 6 of Stones in reverse, like something's taking more than it should. And whether that be you know, a banking system or a organization, a family, the way a family is organized, you know. Let's talk about this. What is the Six of Stones? Can you give us just, like, so many cards in this deck, and I'm trying to shuffle them all. What is the Six of Stones? There it is. Dolphin, a financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. See? Ear. Good news. Good news. So something came in that helped put this, rebalance this. Some news came in, and that probably what lit the fire under your butt and got you going, got you wanting to move. What is this Knight of Cups? And the Moon. Yeah, I'm going to cut this deck in half because it's just too hard. What is this Moon and Knight of Cups? Man. Dealings or relationships with a man, so masculine energy, right? Muddy and unclear thinking, definitely with the Moon. Either this person is, their emotional self is causing you to be unable to make an accurate judgment in the situation. Stubborn, aggressive person. Ram, the button heads, right? Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. You cared about this person. You cared about this thing. Obviously, it has to do with community, people around you, work, achievement, and success. So many that came out with this one. Somebody will try to someone will try to make you do something against your will. It's like you know it, you felt it, you couldn't see it, and you're you know, family matters. Yeah, something having to do with the family. You heard about this and you realize that it changes. I heard the audacity. Changed how you had to handle things, right? Maybe you're being taken advantage of by people in your immediate surroundings, and you had to, like, really take back your power, take back your wealth, your material resources. Wreath, sorrow over a loss. And it had to let go of something. Four of Stones in the reverse. A deep personal strength and peace that assure your success. Stay calm, stay centered. Right. Who are these parents? Gaia, these bosses, Gaia and the Emperor. Who is this? What is this about? The Tortoise. Slowly but surely getting ahead. And again, slow and steady wins the race. They know this, taking their time. Empires are not built overnight. The Lovers and the Temperance card, please. This, the Tulip, great passion. These people care about each other. You care about, there's like, again, the deep passion with the Ace of Wands. Exactly. Is it carnal? Is it emotional? Is it fleeting? Is it something you can count on? Hard work ahead as I'm asking that question. Table and chair. All right, tell us about the these two queens, the Queen of Stones in the upright, the Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the Merlin, please. The Hero, the Fool, the Wheel. Indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble. So that's why it's suggesting put ourselves in this Queen of Pentacles energy and really set firm. Okay, get to work and start getting stuff done. Slow and steady. Really leaning on these earth energies here to take your time, but keep moving. Lobster, financial pinch, right? This is the High Priestess and the Sun and Knight of Stones. That you could be kind of keeping it quiet that this has been going on. Bridge, successfully overcoming a problem while you take care of your shit behind the scenes. Right. Everybody doesn't need to know about everything that was going on. It's not everybody's business. Hanged Man and the Four of Cups in the reverse, please. October. And the Rooster, an arrogant or boastful person that you should not cross. Four of Cups. Right. Moving away from that. We aren't interested in doing that anymore. It's something that really got you moving forward, right? Seeing somebody in a different perspective. And again, there's like a stubbornness here. That's why you kind of like had to pull yourself back, right? October. It could have something to do with someone's birthday. It could be the time when this is coming into place. Roosters could be somebody with the Chinese zodiac of the rooster, or something that happened in October in the year of the rooster. Take that how it resonates. You have to go do some looking for that one. I don't have that. I don't know that one right off rip. 7 of Swords, 9 of Mirrors, Ace of Wands. Mountain Road, you are on the road to success. Again, be strategic. Be strategic. Follow your own intuition, follow your own insights, and remember what it is that that brings you emotional fulfillment. What is it that you're really after? You are highly thought of. Whew, I think this is all circulating around you because you are the most qualified one here. Leaning on you for this. What is this going to become? All right, we're going to get a sacred geometry. Look at this dynamic, number 23. The frequency of dynamics supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. Temperance, right? The mixing of those things. It helps put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and joy. Right? What you've done before and what you're doing now, okay? You learned this already. Again, it's like, you know, like starting off on a new endeavor, but it's not your like first endeavor. These are the game of storytelling by the moth. Some ancestor spirit guides, could you give us something to contemplate on about this? Like something to help us solve this issue? Cravings. Wow. The first thing we said was the overindulgence, right? Talking about that overindulgence. Prepare a story about intense desires, indulging with the conviction or abstaining with difficulty, sweet tooth or primal desire, your hierarchy of needs, pickles and ice cream, anyone? Ooh, hierarchy of needs. And we got the Empress and the Emperor in the upright, the hierarchy of needs. Tell us about a time you just couldn't resist. Woo. A time your eyes were much bigger than your stomach. And a time when you pulled out all the stops to get what you wanted. Wow, it just jumped right out of my hand. Oh, slow and steady, you are getting there. Don't let anybody hold you back. Don't let anybody emotionally manipulate you. And if you are or have been being taken advantage of because of your own good nature, don't guilt yourself for taking a step back, taking your power back, and holding on to what is yours. Okay. Oh, there's a great rebalancing here. This is a beautiful energy, and I hope that it resonates. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And thank you for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.